Good afternoon. I'm going to show you quickly how to work on our budget spreadsheet for this year. And I'm going to navigate over to the calendar of Office 365, just because that's what I happen to have open. And from there, I'm going to go to the waffle, and I'm going to navigate to the SharePoint. And of course, I can navigate to SharePoint from any part of Office 365. And I'm going to, if it doesn't automatically open up, I'm going to go down to the share area. I'm going to do this a long way. There are shortcuts, but I'm going to do this a long way. And I'm going to go to the budget information folder. And I'm going to open up the budget worksheet 2018 draft. And what is really important in this situation is that when you start editing, that you do not open it in the desktop version of Excel. The reason is if we do that, we'll end up with multiple versions of the document. And also, not all of you have the same version of Excel. And if you save it in a different version, that will create problems. So what I would ask you to do is to go to Edit Workbook and Edit in Browser. And at this point, you will see tabs for all the different program areas. If you don't see your program at the bottom, use this little scroll button right down here to move over, and you'll see more of them. And eventually you'll get into other categories. We ask you do not go into books or teaching supplies, other, or any of those. Only work with your particular program area. And let's say for this case, we are going to law enforcement. What we have here is we have basically a place for item description, quantity, unit cost, a total cost, function, and funding source. The function and the funding source are both drop-down menus, which I will take care of. I will assign it to supplies, equipment, software, also to different parts of the overall budget. So I'd ask you to not change these two, and instead just enter in whatever item you have. So if Mr. Cleary needed to order 20, say you need to order gloves, and you want to order 20, probably 20 boxes, and the unit cost was $5, he would have a total cost of $100. If he needed to order, let's say, something larger, it was a camera, and maybe he has a little more information. Maybe he knows the camera is a Police Cam 5000. He's getting one of those, and the unit cost of that is $1,300. Now, other things also go in here. Let's say he needed to do a field trip. Police Academy once. And what's the cost on a field trip? You're generally, if it's local, within an area where you can take a small bus, you're talking about $100. If you're going further afield, taking a bigger bus, it could be $200 or $300 for a field trip. Generally, again, I'll say if you're using a small bus, around $100. If you're using a big bus, probably want to budget about $300 for that function. And anything which Bill is going to need, if he needs textbooks, he will put police careers textbook version 6. Again, I don't need all the details at this point. When we get to doing the budget request form, then we need to go to a lot more detail. But at this point, you need to know how much it costs and enough information that I can tell what it is you're asking for. And he maybe needs 16 of those, and they're $90 each, $1,400. Now, just so you know, what will happen down the road is something like that I will probably put into a different funding source, which will be textbooks. But that's something which we take care of in the office. And Bill will just go on putting in all the things he thinks he might need. And what he'll end up with at the bottom of the page, he scrolls down here, is total requested budget. And you'll also see here is your current budget. Now, you will probably have a number here, which is going to be much larger than this one. But you'll see it doesn't show you as being over and under. That's because nothing is going to change here until I assign these funding sources. So all you as a teacher need to do at this point in time is put in what you need, how many, and then we sort of take care of the rest of it. There'll be a follow-up conversation. Again, there may be things in here which are going to not come out of your local budget. Like you might say, I need new blinds. And you don't know where that's going to come from, and you don't know how much it's going to cost. That'll be a situation where you want to come and talk to me, and I can get the figure on what it might cost to repair the blinds. And I might say we need 6 of them, and I found out it's going to be $300 each, or $3,000, but let's say it was $3,000. And then I would assign that to a funding source, which would be building maintenance. So that wouldn't come out of your program. So basically the way it is you just go through description, quantity, cost, and you'll get a running tally down here. We'll sit and talk about where things are going to be pulled from. You don't have to save it because this is being edited live. You can print it if you want to have a copy, although it might be a little bit premature at this point. And again, the big reminder is if it doesn't go to this budget, it is not planned for anywhere. So we do need to always, we start from 0 and we build up. Now, if it's a Perkins, if it isn't going into Perkins, there's additional paperwork we'll have to do later in the year, but that's not paperwork we're going to do right now. The only thing I just want you to be a little bit mindful of is, let's say this police cam 5,000 was a big, heavy item. You might want to just think about shipping on that. At least give me some sort of a, if it thinks it's going to be something which is over like 100 pounds, you probably want to check the shipping. That could be $200. We have certainly run into items where the shipping has been more than the cost of the item. And again, you get your total budget down here, and then we'll work together to figure out how that's all going to work as a bottom line. So that is basically all you have to do. And when you're done, you can just X out and you're all done. That's it.